morning. There we have it.
Good morning.
Another podcast here.
Yeah, another podcast.
Today we're in a different location.
Another twin talk.
Yeah.
But as you guys have been seeing in our stories, we've been doing a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing a lot of traveling. Been going to Montreal a lot. You guys are probably wondering why we're going to Montreal. What's the deal? What are you guys posting? Why are you guys posting this stuff, these groups with people?
And you probably noticed we made personal profiles as well.
We did.
We're building personal brand a little bit. We're still going to do our twin code as well. Make that like our twin sort of account.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been going to the RTTM shortcut for quite some time now. It's been a few weeks. We actually started before the new year.
Yeah.
I would say it was 3 weeks before the new year, and then we just came back.
Okay. You guys are probably wondering what that is, how that came about. But as you guys saw from our last podcast, we went to Montreal for a conference where someone named Raymond actually brought Ty Lopez to Montreal. And for us, that was something very unique because we've been watching Ty for a long time. You guys may know him as well.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like a
internet
guru.
Social media marketing kind of guru.
Yeah.
Definitely figure out how to balance majority of like life. And when I say that, I mean like the 4 pillars of life.
Mm-hmm. And then so from that whole conference, we got the opportunity to join a shortcut.
Yeah.
And so we've been doing a kind of a shortcut. And also we did the mastermind now. We're doing a mastermind where we're learning about business. We're learning about things we can implement in our company. We can learn about our copywriting, our personal branding.
Yeah.
Like there's so many factors, the way we think about things, the way you should kind of have goals, envision the end in mind and go for that as well. Having action, that's the biggest thing. Taking action and doing something.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've been doing here in the last, I guess, few months.
Yeah.
Before the new year. Because also, by the way, everybody, Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Hope you guys are all excited for the new year. We are.
Exactly. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And with taking action, what it means is that we signed up for the shortcut.
Yeah, we did.
We've been going as well every Wednesday to the shortcut, meeting also some great people, like-minded people.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of trying to grow, improve themselves as well as applying all these things, thinking about the end in mind, action. And everyone has their business or even starting a business or doesn't have a business. And everyone's just willing to learn, which is really cool. We're all in a room that we're all here for the same reason. And just having that mindset already, just that like around other people with that mindset, it just changes you too, to think differently and to even bounce ideas off. It's always good to talk about some idea you have, see if it's even a good idea. Maybe you get some tips. So we've been doing that constantly. And with that, since we've been attending the shortcut, we figured we'd join the RTTM retreat, which was offered. And it was basically a retreat where almost everyone from the RTTM shortcut and as well as the RTTM Mastermind, which is also just a separate, like more one-on-one private group, same idea, except for it's like a whole year long. So those two groups sort of came together in a way, and we all came to a chalet.
Yeah, if we're in Montreal right now, in the wilderness.
Exactly.
At a lake. There's a lake behind us. Beautiful spot. And the main thing is the opportunity to kind of network with everyone in a business side. So like talking about your business, more like, I guess, structured, where we have kind of little classes where we learn things, and also more in a casual way where we're all going to the pool together, we're going to the sauna together, we're working out together.
Yeah, it's like multiple breakout sessions at once, just networking sessions. And what's really cool about this is that normally when we go to like the RTTM shortcut, which is sort of I would say like 4 hours.
Yeah, it's a little more formal too.
Yeah, to like 5 hours in a way. With that, it starts in the evening too. It's like 6:30. And it goes till open end in a way.
Yeah.
And with that, you like learn in the beginning. First, you have a little bit of a networking session in the beginning. Then you learn, and then you just have a few more minutes, or depending on how many people stay with them, right, to network. And then it's sort of over. We're here. Yeah, it's multiple days, right?
Network for multiple days.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, everyone we've kind of talked to and interacted with, amazing. Like the conversation we've had, the questions we've had answered, the questions we've kind of asked, also the advice we've gotten from people too.
Yeah.
It's just been amazing. Everyone here has just been amazing. So if you're watching, we really appreciate the conversations we had. We're going to be implementing a lot of the things
100%
we took away from here, and really excited for the new year going forward. Yeah. But yeah, it's just such a great way to.
It's so cool too to hear like what other people are doing.
Yes.
And then even the ability that we can talk with someone about a certain topic. And then since we don't leave right away, we're here it started almost basically 3 days in a way. So we're here for almost 3 days, and you maybe bring up the topic on the first day, and you can kind of think about it a little bit internally, what your approach would be, and then you can come back and speak with them about it, right?
Yeah.
That sort of that synergy is really, really nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good thing to have, to build bonds, build connections, because you know what they say, it's important to have good people around you, because those are the ones that really form you.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're around some really good people right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, this place is absolutely amazing. We got like food taken care of, so we don't have to worry about the food, nothing like that. Everything's scheduled in a way of it's like scheduled but not really too scheduled, which I
Yeah.
kind of like. Sort of go with the flow. But yeah, we got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we just came from breakfast,
Yeah.
and it was absolutely amazing
My
again. It's just good to see everyone too in the morning. Everyone has like their different routine in the morning, so you can see someone else's perspective on the way they start their day, which is also really
That's also
valuable,
really
right?
valuable,
Or
yeah.
even ending their day.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like the what's it called? Taking the time and making sure you get your 8 hours
Of sleep,
Some
yeah.
some people here, are very take their sleep over anything, which is really good. It's also a good balance to have, get that recovery.
Yeah. But overall, let's go into the year a little bit.
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, we had a lot of goals this year. We talked about a few of our goals in the last few podcasts, and we had some goals we wanted to actually accomplish before the end of the year. And we did it, guys. We actually accomplished a lot of those goals, pretty much every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say every single one. The other ones that came up in our mind kind of were goals that we developed in the last month. But
It's a different mindset.
different mindset, yeah. But I do have to say, one of the big ones was networking, which we've successfully done. We've talked to a lot of people now and kind of got a new vision and idea on the things we're doing, right?
Different approaches.
That was a really big one for us. And just taking the action to do that too.
Yeah.
That was another one that we did. And also learning. Keep learning.
Taking knowledge.
Yeah,
You
so
can
we did
also
a lot of
do
learning.
sort of self-knowledge too.
Yeah.
Like reading, expanding your knowledge base or anything. And then even just starting something, like when there's a new piece of tech or something like AI, right?
Yes.
Get on board right away, play with it, be a mad scientist, see if it's any good, see if it's something you can implement or use, but definitely be ahead of someone who may not just take action on something.
And I do have to say, AI guys, right now, like seize the opportunity because you are still early, even though it's been around for a year now.
Yeah, definitely recommend signing up and paying.
I feel like now it's worth it. I'd say about 6 months ago, it was a little bit rough, but right now it's like prime. Like get on that, get ahead, start training your own AI, give it the information and stuff that you want to use. Because if you start training early, you're gonna be that much ahead than someone that starts later.
Yeah, and we've already been sort of like even at this retreat, we learned so much about AI because we had a workshop on AI.
Yeah.
And the things we learned in that workshop about AI is such a different like mindset again of how you can think about using AI. Like one thing that was brought up was that you can train your AI before you even talk with it. So like normally people just ask questions, but there's things you can do to like help it give
like
more of a refined answer, right? Yeah.
So we learned a lot of prompting, how to prompt your AI, refine it, and absolutely amazing. We've learned also how people implement AI in their own business at the moment. Yeah. Like some ideas that they're doing.
And how far that someone has already implemented it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
insane. Like I thought we weren't this far ahead in AI, but it's already being done. It's like insane.
Yeah. It's insane. And I'd say just do some research on it just so you guys are kind of on the topic of it because it's going to be here to stay. Like actually amazing. It's
that mindset thing again, right? Like if you start now, think about it now, you're going to think about it in your business and then you'll probably implement it earlier than you would have if you didn't think about it at all. So you basically know what technology is available, even though maybe right now is not the right time, but you know it's available, right? So it's that mindset of like, hey, when you come around something that you want to optimize or something in your business, you're like, oh, I can use AI.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been really cool. And we did a huge deep dive actually into AI. We did that during the holiday break here.
Yeah.
And I do have to say the things we've discovered, I didn't even think were possible.
No. Yeah.
Like just the advancements are crazy. And
you want to give an example or?
Yeah, sure. You can go for it. I know that you had a really good example.
Well, I was even just the mindset on AI. So I did a deep dive in AI agents and I just want to see sort of the space because I know it's becoming a very popular thing and it will probably become popular for businesses because they want to replace, not even replace, but maybe speed up their processes. And an AI agent is almost like a kind of like an employee, but it can do repetitive tasks that even people don't want to do. It can make decisions and there's sort of like a mindset behind AI where people just think about AI as being one AI. But the mindset behind an AI agent is that you can have multiple AIs it's sort of specialized in certain topics. So let's say you have ChatGPT, which is an AI for text. Then you have Claude, which is a creative AI.
And Gemini as well.
Gemini, right? Which is like Google and it's kind of connected to Google documents and things like that.
Yes, that's handy.
So like you can almost like merge all three at the same time. So you can set up an AI before these processes that decides what to give each AI and then formulate something at the end. So let's say you're creating a post, you can give like the creative sort of approach to Claude, then the copy, the text, you can give it to ChatGPT, and then let's say you want to turn it into like a nice PowerPoint or Word doc, you can give that to like Gemini. So that whole process, that workflow could be easily done with just all AI, where it just decides what to give it to, and then it can even AI can even get the responses from AI. So let's say it gives like 7 examples, and AI can even go through those 7 examples and filter top 3.
Yeah.
So that way it's even more refined. And then you pick one of the top 3. So instead of you picking through 7, the AI does that already for you. And you may think of it as like a line, right? You may think of it as like you got your agent who decides which AI to give it to. You give it to ChatGPT for the copy, and then you give it to Gemini,
And then you get your delivery.
or like Claude, and you get your delivery. But what's really cool is that you can think about it in a way of that all these tasks could be done simultaneously, where you could just set up where the first AI just gives it all the prompts to all the AIs. So you got Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini, and they all work on it exactly at the same time, and then boom, you got your output. So it's a lot quicker too, instead of just doing this sort of flow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So that mindset,
that's kind of where it's
that I
headed.
learned. It's like approaching it like that is insane.
Yeah, just looking at that information, we're definitely headed in that direction, because we're going to start to get to see agents that aren't like agents for, let's say, doing a task. There's going to be AI agents that are going to be taking care of AIs.
Yeah.
So like you're going to have an agent taking care of an AI that will take care of your, let's say, stats. So like you have a lot of data. So that'd be the data AI, right? And you got your visual AI that will make visuals for your data. And one AI will tell one AI to do something and take that information, give it to the other one. And all you have to say is, I need this done. And the agent's going to take care of it. It's going to go through your computer. It's going to use it like you're using it, probably a lot faster.
Yeah. And I think that's called an AI agent team.
Yeah. So I think that's where we're going.
So like you can think of it as like the first level, which is an AI agent.
Yeah.
But then imagine making a team of these, right?
Yeah.
Where they have a specialized sort of task, but then they use multiple AIs to finish that task.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very, very cool.
Another thing I want to mention too is with that mindset, I feel like we're going to get a lot of smaller models. AI is a model, right? It's like based on the training of the data, and there's big ones which can do a lot, which can do like image generation, text generation, sound generation, which is a very big model because it's be trained on all these things. So I feel like we're in the future going to have a multiple like small little micro AIs just specializing on one thing, like just for copy, one just for images for businesses or things like that, right? And I think having smaller models too will be so much quicker.
It's be efficient,
right? It's inefficient.
Yeah.
And that's why it's going to be optimal to have an agent in between, because it can just use a library of, let's say, 100 specialized tailored AIs, and it will pick what's the most ideal.
Yeah. To probably start optimizing it like crazy. And another good thing that's actually happened in the last, I guess, week or so, we got news from NVIDIA, and they've launched their own like take-home PC,
Personal, yeah.
like a computer that is designed for AI. It's like a brain for an AI. And it has a lot of, I guess, computing power. So very high CPU based, a lot of RAM, and it's for just computing. And they have these little blocks you can buy. You can buy 2 and string them together, so you have double the power.
Yeah.
But people can physically buy this for their business or their house,
And they can run
their local AI. So it's not like interfered by anybody. Like your data is kind of safe, right? It's in your house or in your server. And this thing will run. It's only $3,000. Like, I think that's the new PC right there. That's what you're going to get, is that AI right there.
Yeah. Another thing I want to mention too is that there's a platform called Huggy Face, and it's Facebook even promotes on their documentation with AI. But Huggy Face is a platform where there's some like open source AIs. So you can use open source AIs. You can basically clone them and run them on your PC.
Yeah.
So having a personal computer just for the AI, you can run these like models and just interact with them almost like ChatGPT. You make your own interface and you just, talk with them whenever you need them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit more, it's going to be cheaper than paying the monthly subscription if you don't need anything that's connected to the internet or anything that's that advanced.
Yeah. So AI, it's amazing. It's crazy how much we're bringing it up. We're talking about it.
It's because of the new thing, and like we did a deep dive into it too, and we're hearing it more and more how it's being used. And I think this is definitely being more adopted than crypto, because crypto, it's a little bit harder for a user to be onboarded, and it doesn't really improve their life unless they're doing something that's in tech or things like that. Where with AI, you can see it already helping the regular day-to-day person, right? For tasks or questions. It's almost like a Google, right? You just ask it.
Yeah. And we're actually going to try to implement that in our business in certain aspects. Obviously, we'll be careful with it, right? We don't want to do it in a dumb way, a stupid way. But one big thing too is in video too. So we do video production, right? We produce videos for our clients, more higher end side, more on the higher end. Like we actually do custom videos and produce kind of a story before we actually go and shoot.
Yeah.
And the sometimes are longer too, the shoots and stuff, more for like commercial stuff.
Yeah.
And we saw an AI called Sora AI. And they can produce video. So you can give it a prompt, it'll actually produce a physical video for you, like a realistic one. It's not like a fake one or anything like that. A realistic video, and it's become so good that I'm seeing it a possibility that we could use this in our business.
Yeah.
To get creative prompts.
That's what I mean. Like
be
you can be
even
so much more
creative with what we're doing
and more specific.
Yes.
Like tailor it down to what you need, what type of shot you need. It's good for like even like overlays or snippets, or let's say you just need an asset of some sort of thing. I've seen like these food commercial examples, like even just using that for like a scene.
Yeah.
It's already
Or
ideal.
even touching up one of your shots.
Yeah,
Like we've seen on TikTok, when you're watching some videos on TikTok, there's movies people have uploaded and they've done the movie from a horizontal format into a vertical format.
Oh yeah, right. They expand it.
It looks so cool. And I feel like that's kind of like a great way of using AI is to kind of expand your shot, make it more unique, more creative, more wide angle look, you know, get special angles. And that's where I see big potential where we could use it in our business already.
Yeah. I've seen AIs too where they make your video, your shot crisp. Like let's say you miss
the sharpening.
you mess up the focus, it will sharpen it for you. Yeah. It's insane. Like that's going to already help workflow, save a shot, things like that. Yeah, honestly, like, it's endless with AI.
Obviously, you have your day-to-day task AIs, so like your email AIs, you got like your content writing AIs.
And you can talk to it too. Like I don't know if you guys are aware.
We should do an example right now.
Yeah, you want to do one?
Let's pull up our AI.
Yeah. You can put it.
I'll pull it up here.
I want to quickly mention too, like I've heard this too in the internet and kind of floating around, and people say like the one thing that could replace Google is AI, and I just see it because I'm using AI now to search instead of Google.
Yeah,
it's like insane.
We can do an example right now of a search if you want. Where so one thing that's really cool with this is you can, if you're paying for it, if you subscribe for the month, you can actually click this button and you can talk to it like a conversation. Hey, how's it going?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Doing good. I'm actually at this really cool place in Montreal.
Bring closer.
I'm at a chalet here, and we're basically here with a big mastermind group and learning a lot. It's been 2 full days. We're on the 3rd day right now. We're doing a little podcast, and I was just wondering maybe if you can give me some pointers of what I could talk about in my podcast. But basically, we did some mastermind about social media, personal branding. We did some stuff about AI. We did
webinars.
some talks about some webinars, and even just some like personal building, so like vision boarding and things like that. So, what are some good ideas I could use for this podcast?
That sounds like a fantastic experience. For your podcast, you could start by sharing key takeaways from each topic. Highlight some practical tips on personal branding and social media strategies, and maybe dive into a few insights about AI's role in business. You can also discuss how the mastermind format has helped everyone grow. And don't forget to touch on personal development tools like vision boarding and how they can benefit listeners. Does that sound good?
Say that we're twins too.
Yeah, it sounds good. We're actually twins on a podcast. So what can we talk about or use kind of unique as twins?
That's awesome. You can play up the twin dynamic by sharing how being twins influences your perspectives on the topics. You could talk about how your unique bond helps in business and personal growth, or share fun stories from your journey together. Maybe even discuss how... That sounds awesome. You can play up the twin... That sounds awesome. You can play up the twin dynamic by sharing how being twins influences your perspectives on the topic.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you to AI.
It's so crazy a person.
I just realized here's our new podcast guest.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. There's a text-to-speech feature. You can just talk into your phone. It'll do stuff for you. You can give it information. You can tell it to update its memory. And there's even a FaceTime option now. You can actually FaceTime your AI. It can see what what it sees. Like if it sees you, it can tell you what you're wearing. Like it's actually insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of what we've also been working with, those tools. But I also want to touch base a little bit about like what we did so far.
Yeah.
From like arrival to the days, and just go through them a little bit, just to give some context.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we do have some footage, some clips and everything.
Yeah.
So let's just cover it up. So we arrived on Friday in the evening.
Yeah, we actually
did like a whole meet. We actually met at the Times Hotel where we usually have our shortcut masterminds. So we kind of met there. We did a full like group drive all the way to this like retreat, and on the way though we kind of like lost the people because of the traffic and everything. But we all arrived around the same time. But yeah, so we arrived, we checked into our rooms, and then we did a little bit of a tour of the place. It's so cool. It has like a pool, jacuzzi, a game room.
It's actually huge.
It's almost like amazing here. Yeah. It's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, and then we had our first dinner, and that was really cool. You know, to talk with everyone. Everyone's sort of arriving, things like that. And then we got into our first breakout session already right away, day one, which I didn't expect. I thought it was day one was just like relaxing and chilling.
Yeah, no, I liked it. We did a whole brainstorming about vision boarding, your vision of the year going forward. I suggest everyone does that. Make a vision board for 2025 and kind of break it down. We had a hard time kind of simplifying it because we just had a big vision. And so we started big and then narrowed it down and kind of made it a little bit broad because I have so many ideas still that I'd love to do. Obviously, you have to kind of limit it to the year, but we're going to try to work on a few of these aspects of our big visions as well, of the smaller ones that we can actually complete. But I think targeting some of the bigger ones and getting those started is very important to keep in mind, like why you're doing something, right? Like the the end in mind.
Yeah.
Right?
The end goal, exactly.
Yeah. So you're going the right direction.
Yeah. And it was so cool, the energy in that room, because everyone was sort of on the same page, right? Everyone's supportive. Everyone has their vision. And it's just cool when everyone is kind of
Supportive.
and just thinking about their end in mind, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you get like everyone's sort of energy, and you're kind of thinking like, oh, they're doing this and they're doing that. And
And
just the mindset.
they have some good points too, like some good goals. You're like, oh, that's like a really good goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I should implement that in my.
Start stretching your brain a little bit, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was really, really cool task. And then from there,
And that was our first time we ever did like a physical vision board.
yeah,
in
you're
person.
right,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's way better doing it in person.
Oh yeah.
Like we're all just going on Google, finding images and things. And then we actually got to print them out, cut them out, and
Cut them out by hand.
And, yeah.
Actually glue them to a
Exactly.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like long, eh?
Yeah.
I think we finished up dinner around, what was it? Like 9:30, 9:10.
I went to like at least 10:30, and then we started.
And then we started doing the vision board.
Yeah. And then from there, we ended the night just chilling with a few people, doing some games, so like some poker and going to the jacuzzi, things like that. And then we started the day very early the next morning. There's a few guys here that actually started running at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
It was a running group. And then from there, they did their run. I did some
No, it was
drone
actually
shots.
7. 7 a.m. was the running group.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Was it?
7. It was 7.
Okay. We did my drone shots in the morning. Actually, I didn't do the run. And then we went into the hot tub and sauna. And we did some cold plunges in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a cold plunge, so that was cool to do. And then we hit breakfast, had some breakfast. And then that's when the day really started. And that yesterday was like a crazy, like a mental day.
Just a full day of
Full
learning.
day
There was
of
like
learning.
multiple like classes and breakout sessions of different topics. And sort of like, it was just like go.
Yeah, and we actually had lunch break too, like 2 hours after breakfast.
Yeah.
or like 3 hours after breakfast, I think.
I think it was like 3 hours and a half.
Yeah, it was pretty close
3.5
together.
hours. Yeah.
And the crazy part was I was hungry. And
Yeah.
I usually don't eat lunch, but I was hungry. And I think just from the whole mental side of thinking, and you're burning calories and you're like just thinking so much that I was just hungry and ready to
brainstorming.
eat another meal, you know? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then
Yeah.
we went, after eating lunch, we went to the next one.
Yep.
And then after that, we went to another one.
Mhm.
And we had dinner.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after dinner,
we
had another one.
having another one.
Yeah.
That was really, really good too. That was about personal brand. And that one's very hard for us because we're trying to think of how we could use our special features and our speciality of being twins in a good way for our personal brand, and also what fits our business. So we could use that and grow that.
Exactly.
And for us, it's so hard to think outside of being a twin, because for us, we're just brothers.
Yeah.
But someone looking in, we're twins.
Yeah.
So to think of like someone looking in and like what they want to see from us and how we could use that. And so we've been doing a lot of thinking for that.
And we want to make sure we get it right, because we've been trying to grow our personal brand since 2016, and we're doing different things. Like we tried gaming, things like that. And we noticed that if you focus on the wrong thing, it could be like a big like waste of sort of time in a way
Definitely.
for like the growth side of your personal brand, right? Because you're growing it for the wrong reason. What we learned along the way was really valuable though, like the editing, thumbnails, YouTube stats, all of that stuff is really valuable. But we grew it, I think, in the wrong direction of where we'll take it in the future. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I still kind of like what we did,
Yeah, I do like what
but
we
it's
did
just
too.
hard to kind of connect it together. Maybe we'll figure it out in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's definitely want to get it right this time for business.
Yeah.
That type of the goal, right?
We also had some really great ideas from other people. And I think that's the good thing too, is we get to ask questions about our own personal brand, right? How people see us, because
Yeah,
we can't see it that way. And some people had some good ideas that we could use.
We should ask more questions today.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because people there, now after like getting to know us,
Yeah.
what do they think that they would want to see? You know?
What do you guys want to see?
Yeah,
Let us
comment
know
down
in the
below.
comments. Write it down. If you guys have an idea right away, that'd be awesome. We're thinking about doing like a journey through business as twins, like how we think, how we go through projects, how we work together, things we've done together, things we've done maybe separate and that kind of relied on each other. That's an idea we had, but we'll see. We'll go with it. We'll try some stuff. If it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick.
Yeah,
And we'll change it up, but I'm excited to try that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about what was all covered yesterday. So we started off the day with the first mastermind,
Yeah,
which was
AI.
AI. So learning how to use AI, ChatGPT,
And also kind of like structuring your offer
yeah,
with AI too.
structuring your offer, how to use the tools, like how to train your AI so it gets to know you. Then we learned, then we had lunch. And then after lunch, we learned about social media.
Yeah.
How to grow your own social personal brand. Then after that, we had a webinar course. And that
We
was all
actually had
about,
dinner first after that one because it was so long.
yeah, we had dinner.
Yeah.
And after dinner, we had the webinar course, how to grow your webinar, how to keep people to attend your webinar, growing things like that. And then today we have the last one,
Yeah.
which is going to be after this podcast. which is going to be about psychology,
Yeah. So just your
reading people.
yeah,
and,
mental gymnastics, basically.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting too. I love that stuff. Like thinking about your mind and how you can think about certain things. And we're like problem solvers,
Yeah.
right? We like to solve problems and we like to tackle big projects just because there's such a big problem to solve and you have to like structure it out. And I feel like that's a lot of mental stuff. And I like doing that thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. And right now, everyone is actually enjoying breakfast. And we're going to be all getting ready here in about, I would say, probably like 15 so minutes. We'll head down, get started. But overall, it's been an amazing month. It's been an amazing break too. We had like a good week off where we did the brainstorming.
So much to review though.
Oh yeah, we have so many notes we have to go over.
So many things that we can already implement. We also have our ad running. Some of you may have seen our advertisement on the internet.
That's another
we
thing.
also have a funnel.
Talk about quickly.
Yeah.
We're running our ads, right? And we've done it in a certain way. We've tried reading some books of doing it the best way. And the best thing is we now took what we did and we asked questions.
Yeah.
Here in a room where people have done it before in a very high scale. And so they gave us some really good pointers that we're going to implement and kind of work on. And just for that alone, it's been worth it.
Like coming into this, we didn't really know we knew we had to change something.
Yeah.
We knew there's actually multiple things we could improve.
We just took
just because of things we're learning.
We got it out.
And now coming to this sort of retreat and just getting to know people and sort of throwing around what we've been doing, like we kind of know now what to change. We didn't know where to start. Now we know kind of the process that we could start to see how to get improvements on our funnel and our ad. Yeah. Different platforms people are using too. It's crazy to hear, like, go high level, things like that.
Yeah, there's so many like
why using this. They really let you think. We really push ourselves here where you think of like why are you even doing it that way?
Yeah, exactly. You're questioning it.
Yeah.
No, it's really, really good. But I say we probably should head back to everybody. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video or the podcast, a little short one.
Yeah, we'll get some clips out there for you.
Yeah, I'm glad we could talk about this a little bit.
Yes.
And thanks to Speak Up Studio for actually offering this and coming out and setting it up for everybody. Because there's actually multiple podcasts that actually went through the day here or through the few days. People did a bunch of podcasts. And just the idea is really good. Actually, a student here, one of the students, this is their business right here.
Yeah.
This is their business, social media, and they travel and get content for business owners or people that want to talk, social media, personal brand, right? It's all going even more this year. I feel like people are going to push personal brand even more. Yeah. Which is such a good thing to start.
Exactly. And I was thinking too, where are we going to record,
yeah, exactly. I was thinking too.
How can we document this? And then
we actually forgot our tripod.
We saw the picture of this being packed. Like there's a photo put in the group chat and then we saw this was all being packed up and brought here and we're like, oh, no way. Right?
Yeah.
So again, helps so much. So
big shout out to
Speak Up Studio. So his goal for 2025 is to make this sort of more remote, right? You can bring it anywhere, and which is an example right here. He brought it here. He turned it on, and we're recording right now on the fly. So I love it.
And so we're gonna get all the footage sent to us, and then we'll post it. So that's really handy too. It's just a very easy process.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always the best.
Yeah. So really appreciate Speak Up Studio for doing this.
Yeah.
Definitely check them out if you're interested in starting a podcast for your brand or for your business, and maybe you're in the area. And
remember, guys, like invest in yourself, learn, ask questions, and take action.
Yeah. And that one line I really love is if you're gonna invest in something, if you're gonna invest in something or take a gamble on something, you might as well gamble on yourself because you're gonna put in the work. Yeah, so it's the best gamble you can take.
Exactly. If you look at a room of people that are doing work and you're in that room, who would you put your money on? Is it yourself
or someone else?
Yeah, it's probably yourself. So invest in yourself. Yeah, and learn.
Yeah. So let's start off 2025 and hope you guys have some goals in mind, and we'll see you in the next episode.